Keith, I understand you're an alcoholic. What do you think about alcohol treatment?
First of all, yes, I am an alcoholic, and I was a member of AA for a number of years, and I think AA can be a wonderful treatment, but unfortunately, and now this is kind of a unusual stance for anybody that's been on Alcoholics Anonymous, but first of all, people can become just as addicted to Alcoholics Anonymous as they are to booze. And I think another thing we need to realize about alcoholics, just doing away with the booze does not solve the problem. And you can be without alcohol for years. And I've known people that go to 5 meetings a week for 25 years, and they're just as addicted to that as they are to the drink. Basically, I think Alcoholics Anonymous is good, but I want to write a book sometime, but I'm too old now. I'll probably die before it happens. But uh, I would like to write a book about alcoholism after AA because I think there is so much more to alcoholism than just drinking. The major problem, first thing when you go into AA, you have to admit you're an alcoholic. Second step says that you believe that God can take care of it and He will if He's asked, and then it goes down through the 12 steps. And the last step saying, having had a spiritual enlightenment or from all of these steps, I'm willing to take this experience to other alcoholics. Well, that in itself, it says we're anonymous. Well, how are you going to go out and start telling everybody that you're. So basically, what I'm saying is if you have a problem, I think everybody wants to keep it to themselves. But on the other hand, if it's something like that, like alcoholism and the treatment that could help other people, then I think you have to be willing to expose yourself. And so the one of the main statements in AA is we understood that we cannot do it, but God will, and God can, and God will if He would ask. And so the whole thing is that's what really surprised me when I went in, because I had no idea that AA was a God fearing type of thing. And so, but I think we have to realize that just because a person has stopped drinking doesn't mean that they're cured of alcoholism. And I'd like to go into depth on some of that sometime, but maybe another time we can talk about it. But I, I find it kind of interesting because people will. It's just by sheer, uh, what would you say? What is it when you do something just because you have to do it, but you don't really want to? It's by you just put yourself in the position and say, I won't do it. And it's just by sheer willpower, you don't drink. But the problem that is causing the drinking is much more depthy than that. And we need to get into after you once get sober. And this is another thing. I think alcoholism should be about sobriety. And I believe that there are people that years after going through treatment can have a beer or can have a glass of wine and not have problems with it. There are others that probably never could. But we have to realize that there is a reason for most people drinking. Now, I started drinking in excess and my hands started shaking, and I'm a surgeon. And so I kept a glass of vodka in my car, and between cases, I would run down and have just enough to get my hands steady again so I could operate. Now, the steps of AA said to return to sanity. How insane is having a drink of booze and then going up and operating on somebody? But that's where I was. And it was kind of scary. And I knew if I didn't have a drink, my hands would shake and I couldn't operate. And then I would probably, as soon as people knew that I was boozing, I'd probably have my license taken away from me, Scary point. Sometime I'll tell you all about it.